Welcome to the Legalpreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Sager, and I'm dedicated to covering common legal issues for small business owners and just how some of the world's most elite entrepreneurs have handled legal issues themselves. In true attorney fashion, the information in this episode is not legal advice. This is for informational purposes only, and you should always consult with your attorney before implementing any of the information. Now, on to the show. Hello there. Welcome back to another episode. You guys, I know it has been a minute since I produced a new episode, but I'm here and I'm ready to give you all the goods today. It has been one crazy wild summer. I have been doing lots of traveling. I know I've talked about buying the new business, so I've been dealing with the new business, which is a whole nother ballgame, especially when you have in-person employees. So it's really crazy for me because I have the law firm, which is completely remote. All the employees are spread out across the country. I never have face-to-face interaction. And now that I have this brick and mortar company, it's a poker club, by the way. And now I have about 20 employees that I manage day to day that are in person. And it is just a whole nother ballgame, let me tell you. So I have been a little busier than normal, but I am back at it now that we're about almost 2 months in of this poker club. So things are starting to run a lot smoother, just growing pains and the transition period. It's been one wild ride, but it's been so much fun, learning a ton. I love to be educated and I love to learn new things. So learning more about working in the poker industry, it's been a lot of fun over the past 2 months. It's been crazy though. So yeah, and last week I was in Nashville for Podcast Movement. I was like, how ironic. Like I'm here at Podcast Movement and I forgot to record a podcast episode for this week. So that's why you didn't get any new episodes last week. But here I am. And what we're talking about today is the timing of your trademark application. When should you file? And this is a really important topic because many business owners, especially the ones that we are working with in my law firm, they're small business owners. You guys don't have a huge legal budget. Honestly, you probably don't even have a legal budget. And I completely understand that. So yes, I could sit here and tell you, oh, you have to file trademark applications right away. This has to be number one priority, blah, 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 blah. I could tell you that all day long, but quite frankly, it's not true. And that's not good advice because I'm the attorney that understands where you're coming from as a small business owner, and I have to give you practical advice, not just the one legal answer that every lawyer wants to give. So best timing, yes, right away, as soon as possible. That's the absolute best time to start the application process for your trademark, which if you've been listening to the podcast for any amount of time, you know that the first step with us is your trademark search. Then we file the application. Now, when is the right time to file the trademark application? Well, if you're just starting out, and across the board, of course, as soon as possible, if you have the money, do it right away. But if money is an issue and you're just starting out in business, then the quick and dirty answer is when you have momentum. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're just starting out and you're just testing the water in your business, because let's be frank, that's what a lot of people do. You'll start this side hustle, you'll start a passion project, and you don't have a lot of money. You're just trying to see what you can do, see if you can really make it in the business. Well, because the trademark application process takes so long, you may be done with your passion project if you file right away, and you may be done with that project before you even hear back from the trademark office. So it used to be, from the date we filed the application to the date we received your registration, it could be as little as 6 to 7 months. Well, now when we submit the application, we don't even initially hear back from the trademark office for 6 months, 6 to 7 months. And this is because so many new applications were filed during COVID, not even because the trademark office was shut down during COVID. They weren't. They were all working remotely, but there are so many more applications filed during COVID. That is really what put the trademark office behind. So now it could take 9 to 10 months to hear back about your trademark application or to even receive your registration. So when you're just starting out, I don't think you should actually file right away if money is an issue and you're just testing the water in your business. Now, if you have investors and you have a whole team already behind you, you have the money, then yes, I think you should file right away. But if you are a solopreneur, the CEO, the chief everything officer, then I think you should wait on filing the application until you have momentum. Now, what do I mean by momentum? Momentum is when you know this is a thing. Because when you start, you're like, okay, I'm going to try to make this work. I'm going to see if I can make some money. And then eventually you will get to the point where like, okay, I'm not just testing the water here. This is a real thing. This is a real business. This isn't going to just end tomorrow. You know that it's going to be a lasting business. So that's when you want to file the application. Now, that doesn't mean you don't need to be concerned about trademarks from day one, because you absolutely should. You need to be concerned with trademarks from day one. And when you pick that business name, you need to do a trademark search with a trademark attorney, because you can listen to past episodes and hear me talk about trademark infringement and how it's not just when it's the same exact name. It's when there's any name similar enough where consumers are likely to be confused. So you don't know how to find all those similar names. That's what we know how to do as the trademark attorney. And that's where we really provide a lot of value at the beginning stages of your business, because I can't tell you how many times a new business owner comes to me after just launching their business and they get a cease and desist letter. And they say, Andrea, I searched Google, I searched social media, I have the domain name. Like I have the actual domain name and I still got the cease and desist letter. Or somebody says, hey, somebody approached me about trademark infringement for this, but they didn't, it's not the same name. They have the in front of their name, or one word's different, or it's spelled different. And I have to tell them, unfortunately, that still is trademark infringement. So understanding what trademark infringement is incredibly important as a business owner, and running that search at the beginning or as soon as possible. That is very critical in ensuring your business is not setting itself up for failure. Because if you don't do that trademark search, you are 100% setting up your business for failure, because you could launch your business and blow up overnight, but you've been infringing on somebody else. And when trademark infringement is present, not only can they sue you for your profits, but you have to rebrand. You have to spend so much more money rebranding. So it is in your best interest and my best advice to say do a trademark search as soon as possible. I don't think you have to file the application as soon as possible. Of course, you want to file it as soon as possible, but like I said, money's an issue. Don't go without feeding your family and file a trademark application. But the trademark search is something that needs to be done as soon as possible. And we have a special offer for you guys. So just click the link in the show notes or go to andreasager.com, find that trademark search, and enter the promo code, the podcast, literally the podcast, and you will see the special discount that we have for that trademark search. Because I know how critical that search is, and I want to make sure that it is accessible for everyone. So go to andreasager.com. The link is here in the show notes as well. You can get a discount on the trademark search. It is a surprise. I'm not going to tell you guys here. So go check it out, and we will get started on that search for you as soon as possible. So the trademark search, it normally doesn't take more than a week. Sometimes it just takes a few days. But if we are backed up with a ton of searches, then it could take a week. We break up the process. We have the trademark search and then the trademark application. The trademark search should be done right away. Anytime you're creating a new service, a new product, naming something new, you always want to do that trademark search with a trademark attorney. That way you have the peace of mind knowing that you can move forward and not be infringing on somebody else. Now, the trademark application, that is truly securing your federal rights, but in my opinion, you can wait on it, of course. if you have the money, go ahead and file the application, but at least get that search done as soon as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got some trademark knowledge. Go get that search done. If you have never done a trademark search on your business name, any products or services that you have, you could be setting yourself up for failure. 100%, I mean that. So don't wait, get it done. We have the discount going on right now. Just click the link, use promo code THEPODCAST, and you can get a discount. All right, I'm out. Shout us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you are. I would love to celebrate you. Have a good one, and I'll see you next week. If you found this information helpful, I would be so grateful if you could share it with a fellow business owner, and it doesn't cost anything to rate, review, or subscribe to the show. Your support helps me reach more listeners, which allows me to support more business owners in their entrepreneurial journey. I'll see you next episode.